Yo, what's good, YouTube? Dark Black Crow here with another video. And this video is going to be about words or magic spells. So, have you ever heard that words are like a sword? Well, they are. And with words, right, you can pierce somebody's heart, you can hurt somebody, you can make somebody feel happy, you can make somebody feel great, and everything around that. So, with words, you want to watch what you say, because when you say certain things, you can manifest that. Like, for example, let's say that you hate yourself, then you're manifesting to hate yourself, and you're manifesting a lot of negative energy around yourself. But when you say you love yourself, you're manifesting a lot of positive energy around yourself, and you start to believe those things the more and more you say it. Like, go in front of a mirror and just keep saying positive things to yourself, and just encourage yourself that you're gonna have a good day, that everything's gonna be fine, and that everything will go smooth and perfect. Because when you pierce somebody's heart with those negative words, those words stick. And if you notice that with arguments, right, arguments are very negative sometimes, and they even cause physical problems, because you say something that you regret, or you say something that hurts the other person's feelings, that makes them go off on you, or you go off on them. And words come from hieroglyphics. And what I mean by this is, words are like signs and messages. And you can totally study somebody by the way they speak to you. Because a lot of people in my life, a lot of people where I'm at, they speak very, about things that don't matter. And I've noticed that. And it just brings me down, because it's like, you're not talking about God, so what the heck is there to talk about in my head? But they're just talking about anything that goes off the top of their head, and they're talking about a lot of negative things. And I noticed that like I said, that brings me down, because there's nothing positive to talk about, and they're just talking about a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. And when you talk about God or Jesus or Egypt or Greece or anything like that, that is intelligence. You have to understand that words can also help you out and make you a smarter person. Because let's say that you're listening to an interview, or you're at church. If you're at church and you're listening to somebody, you're gaining knowledge and you're gaining wisdom and power, because words are also power. Because they don't want you to be smart. In this world, they don't want you to have all the knowledge and information that the elites have. Because if you knew everything, then you would know how to function in society, you would know how to make money, you would know how to do all these things. And they keep this from us because they're scared of us. They're scared of the chosen ones, the 144,000. And with that being said, they don't want us to know everything. And it's just like with Adam and Eve. God didn't want Adam and Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge. And when they ate from the tree of knowledge, they were aware that they were naked, and they were scared of God, and they knew of good and evil. And now we know of good and evil because of Adam and Eve. And we know how to sin. We know how to make amends and say grace and everything. And it was just so powerful, to the point that nowadays we just know all these things, and we're cursed, and God wants us to put us back in dirt. But I'm sure you don't want to go back to dirt. I'm sure you want to go to heaven. So just don't follow in bad footsteps. Just don't listen to the wrong things, and listen to positive things that uplift you and encourage you to do the right thing. Because like I always say, when you're doing the wrong thing, God doesn't appreciate that. And he gave us life. And with him giving us life, he expects respect in return. And when you disrespect God and say the wrong things, then that's just cursing yourself even more than you already are cursed. Because we're a cursed race, and this world is cursed, and this world has a whole bunch of negative things in it. But it's up to you to stay on the positive route and go on the good side of things, and look at the positives out of everything. And going back to words can make you cry, sad, angry, happy. They can sway you in a whole bunch of different ways. Like, imagine if your father or mother told you that they hate you. How would that make you feel? Those are the people that gave birth. Those are the people that gave birth to you and brought you into this world. And for them to say they hate you, how, just imagine how you would feel. And I've had an incident where I got into an argument with somebody that I grew up with, and that hurt me. And even though we were arguing about whatever we were arguing about, the words that were said were very hurtful and made me very sad. And it made me very angry. And I didn't know how to react. And this happens a lot with loved ones, because when you have a loved one and you're in a bad state, in a bad situation with them, then you're like, who do I run to? Who do I call upon? And you may have more friends, but there's no friend like the one that you have right there. There's no one other being that's the same as someone else. Everybody has their own different personalities. Everybody has their own different tastes and everything. Everybody has their own perspectives. And for you to just babble on about things that don't matter, I mean, what are you really talking about? If you're not talking about God, what are you talking about? Because in times like this is the times that we need to really come together and stay strong together. And if you don't do that, if you're just going off of what everybody else says and following the crowd and not being a leader, then what the heck are you doing? You should be the one teaching people. You should be the one going to different places and talking about God. You should be the one encouraging and uplifting everybody. And when you're not doing that, it's just, you're setting something upon yourself that makes you want to babble about things that don't matter. But if you talk about the right things and everything is going swaying well, then you'll only manifest positive things in your life. And God wants us to teach. God wants us to spread his knowledge about love and everything around what I'm saying, because Jesus is love. Jesus is complete love, and Jesus wants us to do our best and survive. But at the same time, you can't be putting yourself in bad situations. And with words, when you say certain things, just remember that people remember what you said, and it can really take a toll on your life, because people go, oh man, people die behind words. Just saying the wrong thing, like saying, I don't want to say it because oh gosh. Let's, like, for example, if you say, I don't like your mother, but you say it in a different way, people die behind that, because people really stand strong behind their mother. And you're encouraging them to want to do something to you, do something negative, because you're only sparking a negative reaction. But if you say that your mother is a great person and she does a lot for you, then you're only going to get positive out of that. And you're only going to get, oh, well, thank you, or anything around that. But just remember that words can pierce somebody's heart. And words are very powerful, because words are, like I said, just like magic spells. And words can be used to fight, because when you use words and someone's coming at you, you can say the right thing and it'll make them shut up. You ever heard of that? You never been in a situation like that? But just remember that words are very powerful, and words can really destroy somebody, or they can really help somebody, because when you gain intelligence, you'll start to understand what I'm talking about. But besides that, that's the end of the video. Dark Black Crow out. Peace, love, and positivity, y'all. Catch you later. Love y'all.